Tension in Aso Rock as Niger Delta militants comes after President Buhari and threatens to attack his government. Few days ago, the Niger Delta militants issued a warning to the federal government. Things is now getting tougher as the Niger Delta militants have decided to take up their arms and attack the federal government of Nigeria if their demands and the demands of the youth is not met in the next few months. Militant group from the 9 states in Niger Delta region who now vowed to resume hostility few days ago in support of #EndSARS protest triggered fresh anxiety as it presented 11 new demands for the federal government. Leader of the militant under the auspices of the deformed Niger Delta Avengers, Major General John Mark Ezonobi, in an electronic statement, said the coalition had communicated multinational oil companies to evacuate their staff to avoid human casualties and loss of lives. The group stated this in support of the existing demands on the #EndSARS protester, stating, "We have added new demands that could stop the mayhem on foreign oil multinationals, oil and gas infrastructures, and the joint military task force involved in the operation. We have vowed to take the destiny of our region into our hands and kickstart the occupation of all the major oil wells and the oil platform. We will also bring down all major crude oil production pipeline to zero." A coalition of 9 renegade militant groups in the Niger Delta region has declared support for the raging EndSARS protests across the country, saying they were ready to resume hostilities, attack oil and gas facilities if federal government did not meet the demands of protesting Nigerian youth. The militant groups under the aegis of the reformed Niger Delta Avengers (RNDA), which held an emergency meeting in Delta State, also announced their preparedness to break their ceasefire amnesty with the federal government and engage military forces. This declaration was made in an electronic communication by the Niger Delta Avengers leader, Major General John Mark Ezonebi, aka Obama, according to his words, says, "We will engage the troops attached to the proposed Operation Crocodile Smile and resume attacks on some identified oil facilities in the region if issues of poor welfare, armed oppression, and inequality in the standard of living between the citizens and political elites are not addressed." Niger Delta Avengers leadership has directed its striking force unit commanders in all the 9 militant groups to be on the standby and maintain visibility on identified locations with study and locations striking methods. Well, we may resume heavy destruction of major crude oil pipelines and their platforms, including the major gas distribution pipelines from Escravos, Warri, Kaduna. Also targeted are major targets pipelines, including the Chevron valve platform located at Abiteye, Warri South local government area of Delta State, and this is one of Chevron's most significant platform, and it serves as a connecting point where all other Chevron's Niger Delta platforms link up. The Shell underwater Forcados 48-inch export pipeline, which connects from Clock Creek through River Ramos Creek delivery line to the Forcados terminal, a major and one of the Nigeria's highest crude oil delivery pipeline, will be brought down, as well as the major Escravos Trans-Lagos pipeline linking Warri to Lagos, major gas pipeline that supplies both Lagos and Abuja with constant electricity supply will be cut off, and other several gas and oil pipelines belonging to the NNPC located near Warri within the hinterland will also be blown up. Okay, the major Chevron main electricity feedback pipelines located at the Escravos tank farm at Syria Creek will not be left out in this well-coordinated attack. The major one of the highest crude oil producing wells owned by Chevron, which are RMP-23 and RMP-24, all located near DB in Delta State, and it contributes majorly to the daily crude oil production chain of the country, will all be blown up and cut to zero level, and the Bonny Nembe Creek trunk pipeline located at Bonny Export Terminal line will not be left out, the militant warned. Major General John McEnany added, in addition, Niger Delta Avengers urgently demands release of the 98 billion naira gas flare penalty fund to host oil communities through the leadership of the national chairman of OSCOM, Prince Dr. Mike Emu. We also demand the urgent release and implementation of the 10,000 pipeline surveillance security contract job host communities, he added. Major General John McEnany explained, the decision by the militant groups to support the protesting youth was based on the open inequality in the distribution of wealth and development in the country. We, the agitating militant groups in the creeks, are lending our voice to the demands of our great, resilient Nigerian youth based on the fact that Nigeria is a blessed nation full of abundance of so much untapped natural resources. Wherefore, we demand for a better Nigeria that the welfare of the citizens should be seriously taken into account. Every region and its citizenry, first of all, got 10% in every revenue derived by countries sourced either from oil and other sources just to cater for the welfare of the citizens of this country before the revenue will be shared to the three tiers of government by the central government, while the oil producing communities will get 5% from line charge from the oil revenue and will be directly paid to the host communities and not to the governors of the Niger Delta state, he has said. The militant group also pointed out, though they were engaged in correspondence with the federal government over the contentious issues raised by the nationwide protest march by agitated youth, stating, we want to put it on record that President Muhammadu Buhari is not to be blamed entirely for what is happening, but we blame some ministers handling sensitive areas of the economy and the National Assembly members. While the citizens are making sacrifices in the areas of adjusting to harsh economic policies of government, the aides of President Buhari and members of the National Assembly are living large in opulence. Even members of the Niger Delta Avengers made sacrifices to agree to a ceasefire in 2016 in order to allow President Buhari-led APC federal government to consolidate on its renewed policy thrust for his anti-corruption fight and economic growth, job creation and transforming policies of massive infrastructural developmental strides within the Niger Delta region and the country at large. But the National Assembly members and the political class are pushing the people to the wall, and we are ready to fight back. Major General John McEnany, leader of the Niger Delta Avengers, made this declaration in Warri and boldly told the federal government to implement their demands or be ready for war. Well. So guys, you've heard all of this. Niger Delta or these militants, they are always fighting for themselves. Or now they have resolved to say, oh, we associate or we reckon with the youth. You know, this hashtag the NSAS process, we reckon with them. We understand what they are saying, that the government should meet their demands. They themselves, they are adding their own to, say their own list is always long, so the federal government never meets their needs all the time. So that is where we have found ourselves in this country. You don't know who is not who. But the problem I have with those people again is that with all of these things that they've been enjoying, it is just them that are enjoying this. Even the development we are talking about right from onset, nothing has even changed in that region, especially Delta State. Nothing has really changed. Nothing has really changed. They are the ones enjoying themselves, because once they settle them, that is the end of the whole thing. The reason why I say I'm not really so happy with them is that when these Fulani S-men were coming to, especially that region, especially Delta State, what did they do? They never even said anything. And that's why these guys are always feeling on top of the world. It's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so. Everybody must work together, because from what we have seen, maybe in all countries of the world, you see that the government, is always on one side, while the masses are always on the other side. We need to speak for ourselves. We need to fight for ourselves. Not that everybody will just form his own group and you're going to be arguing your own out with the federal government or the government of the day. No, everybody must work together, because for all of these agitations, we are talking of genuine agitations, not all this Boko agitation or whatever, but we are talking about people who really want to move this country, for who want the better thing for the people. There's nothing they have said that Nigerians have not said, but they have made their demands. Let's see what will happen. Of course, when these people talk, they shake. They really shake very well. So guys, leave your comments below and let us have your take on this. Thank you.